Good evening, everybody. So I really wanted to step out and just say thank you to two lovely ladies, Rachel Beck and Erling. Did a wonderful post about um, kind of equality in America for people settling in that come from India. A little brief introduction. Those who don't know me, I come from a mixed family. My mum was Indian. She was born in Kenya, Mombasa. Sadly, she's no longer um, with us or with us as a family. And I've been through racist abuse. I know that in the post you both talk about education, stand up for yourself, um, and going into work in corporate America, I guess it was at the time. I've been through a different journey in terms of where I am now. When I was growing up in Dagenham, late 80s, my mum and myself and my brother, we got told to go back to your own country, UP. And there's no worse a feeling than being young, being 10-year-old, and not having been scared of everything, not being able to understand what's going on. And I think some social media is right, and you talk about education and stand up for yourselves. And I think should we really we shouldn't really feel we have to stand up for ourselves. And it's kind of, I love equality. I'm a former teacher, and that's what I try to give out my values on LinkedIn and everywhere and on posts, because all my students were always welcome in the classroom. And I think it's quite scary that you know you know that we can't welcome people and look at people and treat them as equals, as I did in the classroom professionally and would do anyway as a human, because it doesn't matter if I'm Indian, half Indian. My faith is Christian. I come from a mixed family. My mum, she was Indian. She spoke Gujarati, and she was born in Kenya, Mombasa, and she was the most greatest person on this earth to me. And there's so many racist instances that I can think of as a child. It was just horrible growing up. And I think now I've grown up, I'm a thought leader, I'm well educated, I've got a good personal brand. And just looking into this post, it really resonated with me, because I think that, we're quite blessed in the UK, because under the education system we have, and in the law, we have the Equality Act, which I know that some countries don't have that. And that's really safeguarding children and everybody, welcoming the classroom, as should be in a society, because I really believe that we're going to need not just voices, not just videos like this. We're going to need innovation and creativity to not fight back against racism, or comments like, oh, you go back to your own country and all. And I've heard it all, and my skin's quite white tonight because I'm on this different type of camera, but you know I've got a pigment in my skin. I'm proud to be associated. My childhood was Indian. I watched Indian films. I love Indian food. My mum was Indian, so I'm not going to run away from it. I'm going to hide. Um, but the racism hurts. It goes deep, and I've suffered that, and I know many other people, and it's not nice. And it's kind of strange that we have to fight back, and I don't think that's the right answer. Really, we do to stand up for ourselves, and I agree with that, and that's really important. But with innovation and creativity, I'm talking about learning design. We're going to have to be using uh, text messages, artificial intelligence. The other day I did a post about racism in football stadiums, how we can combat that with a learning design. And I think that in society, we're going to need that. Behind me, there's a great place, capital of India, New Delhi. I haven't even been to India, and I can't wait to go. My mum's sisters are still with me as a family. I've got a very small family these days, and all my childhood it was just beautiful and amazing. Indian people are one of the most loving people you'll ever meet, and we should not any black people, Asian people, Chinese people. I'm a Christian, and I think that it's good me speaking up and saying, sharing my story, but I think the real answer is creativity and innovation, because we have to go deep. We have to go into education. We have to bring through the generations. I've taught so many schools when I was a teacher, as a supply teacher, and different places. And there was always equality. Equality and racism was never really a problem I could see in education, because in the UK we're quite well protected, and it's about just helping everybody as a good teacher, and that's what you do. And there's safeguarding around that to make sure that happens. And I think that's the problem that I've found becoming a thought leader and trying to spread the word on equality in society. How can we do that? Because the government will only do so much, can do so much. Laws will happen, yes, and that's good. That's good for women, domestic violence, to name a few. But in terms of India and Indian people and everything around racism and all that, it goes deep with me, because yes, I'm half Indian and I'm proud of that. But as a learning designer, as a thought leader, I think to combat some of the stuff we have in society is going to be through software and stuff like that, getting out the right systems and putting that into training systems for companies and getting it into people's brains. Some people say that it's education, they're not educated when people make racist comments. I don't know the science behind that, and I like to do some research around that. And I would agree to a certain degree. But I think from a more psychological perspective and mental health, the real answer is trying to make the other person, like in a crime, understand how they make a victim feel when they do or make a comment or even a gesture, because it's the old saying, don't treat other people like you wouldn't want to be, like you would be one treated, and that's like good customer service. So I think it is going to be training systems across, like on scale. Social media like Facebook, Instagram are constantly in the bad media press at the moment because of racism and football and loads, all those notions. But if we flip the coin and we put out good content, like videos like this, and like the lovely two ladies, Rachel, Beck, and Erlin, and Erlin, or if I think I've got your name right, or I'm so sorry that you went through those difficult times, and I've been through trauma myself, a lot more severe, but we've all, I don't know what it is. It's just like when your skin is colour different, you just go through these things. And it's not targeted against white people, because I've got English friends and they're my best friends in the world. I class myself as English, but I'm also got Indian roots. I'm not going to walk away from that. But going back to my plan and, about innovation and creativity, I think that what we need to do is, as companies and business leaders, we need to come together and think of how we can pump out different messages and systems within organizations at schools, so that, in 50, 40, 20 years' time, or the next generation that comes through, they don't have to face not what we're facing now, but there are systems in place that we can help to improve things. I think software design will be one of the systems that we can use. Because I just see in the media conversation after conversation after conversation, and no discredit to anybody putting out, talk shows or anything like that. They are just conversations and they're not going anywhere. There's no real execution. And we know that as business leaders and anything that anybody's designed, anything, that execution and implementation is really key and important. You do a learning design, you follow up with data, you watch that data, see what works, and you make changes. And we're not doing that with equality. We're not doing that with racism. We're just talking. And I'm talking right now. But as a thought leader and a learning designer, and I've got a powerful network, I would advise you to connect with me, because I will steer the way, hopefully this year and the forthcoming years, to promote equality for all people, and share my practice as a former teacher, because all lives matter. Doesn't matter race, age, religion. If you're in my classroom, you're welcome. And I think that needs to apply in society a lot more now. So anyway, I want to thank the two great ladies. Really, leading, throwing the equality back where it should belong for all Indian people. I'm proud to be half Indian, and I love my mum, and I love India, even though I've not been there. But I'm. It's sad for me watching the people lose their lives in India, because I have deep connected roots to India with my mum. And I will stand by anybody, any race, any religion that feels they've been discriminated. So contact me, DM me, connect with me. I am a thought leader. The biggest brands in the world follow me, follow my work in learning development in that area. I'm doing some more work around leadership and mental health, and equality is really, really important. So in the future, I'm looking to put out a news channel, a different kind of journalism where equality is really, really pushed out on a scale. So connect with me, please. And thanks again to the two lovely ladies. I'm just thinking over my notes. One last point: I think you do have to stand your ground on a professional level. And I agree that education is better. If you're in a company where you feel that you're not being listened to because of your race, your age, or religion, especially your skin color, then you need to make the appropriate action and go to your HRM manager. Even though you may feel intimidated, there is what is known as direct discrimination and indirect discrimination. And what more work and more emphasis, and certainly on the LinkedIn platform, should come through from thought leaders around HRM practice and equality. I've not seen much of it. I've only seen conversations about how people are being treated. So I think more work around that would be lovely. So any thoughts, please, connect with me, and we'll get something going. Thank you so much. Spoken for quite some time. Apologies for the ultra white face. I'm still playing around with my lighting. I've got a new camera, but anyway, God bless everybody. And it is important, whoever you are in life, and you feel like you've been mistreated, you've got that feeling in your gut, you need to talk to somebody, because at the end of the day, it comes down to your health, your mental health, and it doesn't matter who you are, we all get mistreated, and it's not nice, especially when it comes to your color of your skin. And trust me, I've been there as a child, and it's not nice. Even in modern society, I've experienced racism. It's a bit different now in this world, I believe, to what it was 30 years ago. I think we have more power to fight back, and it shouldn't really be about fighting back. It should just be about living everyday life normally and happily. But we live in a complex world, sadly. But on a positive, I want to thank those two lovely ladies, and long may we all come together to promote and increase equality, not fight for it, because I think that's wrong, using that word, to fight. Some people use that word a lot, but I think it's about generally having the passion to want to help people, unite people. That's the way I see my leadership, is to unite people together. And it might be having a conversation with that person and understanding why they don't want to work with together and why there's hatred there. Hate crime is real, as we know. We've seen an influx of that, an increase of that as well, through COVID and through the Brexit in the UK, sadly. And it's not nice, and I urge anybody that think before you speak and think before you act. Yeah, we're all human. Let's work together. Let's love each other. Thank you so much. I am going to end it there. I hope you've enjoyed it. I really wanted to dedicate this video to those two ladies, as friends as I see, and I will work with anybody that wants to champion the way and work with me for equality. Thank you so much. Good night. God bless.